Hello, everybody. Dragonfire here, and I'm finally doing it. It's time for my top 10 albums of 1984. 1984, continuing my series as I run for the 80s here. And let's get started with an honorable mention. I'm going to honorable mention the soundtrack for the movie This is Spinal Tap, the documentary, great documentary on a great band, Spinal Tap. And they follow the documentary there. And for the release of the documentary, along with the release of the documentary, they also released a soundtrack for the movie that features many of the songs that they played during the movie. Um, and it kind of serves like a greatest hits for Spinal Tap, but I figured that wasn't really fair to put a greatest hits album or a movie soundtrack on the list. So I'm just going to leave that as an honorable mention. Now, into my top 10. 1984 gave us the first Bon Jovi album. Uh, it, so yeah, I'm gonna put that at my number 10. It's a good album. I think that the first two albums, the self-titled Bon Jovi album, and then the second album with 7800 Degrees Fahrenheit. Both of them are good, but I don't know that they're great. I think the Bon Jovi really gets great when you get into Slippery When Wet and New Jersey. Probably their best two albums. I also like the John Bon Jovi solo album that came out after that. But not a bad debut from Bon Jovi. That'll be my number 10 for 1984. All right, here's my number 9 for 1984, Queensryche, The Warning. Yeah, this is a pretty cool album. Um, is this the first one? I can't remember. I think this is the first Queensryche album. So I think they'll be coming up on some more lists, some more top tens in coming years. Okay, now this is an album I just recently got. This will be my number 8 for Autograph. And by the way, I do own a copy of the Bon Jovi debut, but it's a digital copy, and yes, legally. But I like to show off the physical media when I can. I purchased the legal digital copy of the first Bon Jovi album, but um, these tracks here, uh, Autograph. This is a new CD. So Bon Jovi was my number 10, Queensryche my number 9, Autograph my number 8, and I was really only familiar with the one hit song that Autograph had, and it was off this album here. But I listened to the rest of the album, and it's pretty solid. So this album is called Sign In Please. Sign In Please by Autograph. All right. Next up, you got the Scorpions. Scorpions, uh, fantastic band. This is their 1984 album, Love at First Sting. You can see the track listing there. Fantastic stuff. My number 7 here. Rock You Like a Hurricane is obviously an all-time classic. Still Loving You is a pretty good ballad off of this one. Um, but give this entire album a try. It's worth listening to here. Love at First Sting by the Scorpions. Okay. All right. Next, I'm going to throw in here. Let's see. I've given you 10, 9, 8, 7. All right. I guess this is my number 6. I'm going with Weird Al Yankovic's in 3D. Um, yeah. Weird Al Yankovic's in 3D. Um, fantastic album. This is the one that has Eat It. He also does one of his polka medleys on this one called Polka on 45. And then he's also got the theme for Rocky 13 on this one, which is Ryer the Kaiser. Very good stuff. Nature Trail to Hell, That Boy Can Dance. Yeah, good stuff on this one. I do have the CD, or I do have a digital copy, but I also have it on cassette tape. Want to show the cassette tape off there. Okay, all right. Now my number five. I think this is number five. Yeah. Uh, Metallica's "Ride the Lightning." Metallica's 1984 album. I mentioned their debut on the last episode from 1983. Kill 'Em All. Ride the Lightning is even better in my opinion than Kill 'Em All. Uh, Fantastic album. I recommend the title track, and just listening to this album is quite a trip. Okay, then wait, was that? I lose track of these numbers here. I think I actually have too many albums here, but anyway, my number four. I'm gonna call this my number four. Yeah, no, Ride the Lightning was five. That's right. So I'm on track. Okay, number four is 1984 by Van Halen, also known as XXXIV, which is the Roman numerals for 1984. But yeah, iconic album cover there. Everybody knows this for the hit songs Jump, Panama, and Hot for Teacher, I think, were the big hits off of this one. But this is a pretty good listen from beginning to end. I don't think it's their strongest overall album, but the fact that it has Hot for Teacher, which is my favorite Van Halen album, it puts it into contention. I think it's just a few of the weaker songs on the album bring it down. Uh, Honestly, I've always kind of thought that Jump and Panama were actually a little bit overrated songs. But I love Hot for Teacher, um, Drop Dead Legs, Girl Gone Bad. Even the little instrumental opener just called 1984 is a really cool song. So, it's got its hits and misses, but it does have, in my opinion, the very best ever Van Halen song, which is Hot for Teacher. So, give 1984 a listen. All right, my number three is gonna be Rat Out of the Cellar, and I kinda am sad that I missed putting their debut, the Rat debut, or the EP anyway. This is their debut full length album, Out of the Cellar, but they did have an EP the year before in '83, which I also think is really good. And just like how I said that, like I think Jump is kind of an overrated Van Halen song, the famous song off this one, the one everybody knows is Round and Round, which is track number three on this Rat EP. I actually think Round and Round may be just a little bit overrated. It's not that I don't hate Jump, I don't hate Round and Round, but um, I just think that they have other songs that are just as good, if not better. Uh, I mean, this entire album is awesome. This this is really close. I mean, my top three here I think are just smoking albums. Um, yeah, everything on this is good. Want It Man, You're in Trouble, Lack of Communication, Back for More, Scene of the Crime. Those are all songs I recommend off this album. So yeah, really strong. Love Rat Out of the Cellar, 1984. I'm choosing it as my number three, but it's close. All right, Quiet Riot, Condition Critical is going to be my number two. Man, this album here, and I've got these couple on CDs that are meant to look like little album sleeves. They're supposed to be like miniature albums, but you take it out and they got a CD inside. But yeah, Condition Critical by Quiet Riot. It's really a follow up to their 1983 album Metal Health. Um, I think it's a worthy follow-up. It's not quite as good, but it's almost as good. Almost as good as Metal Health. That's why I have it ranked number two. I mean, it's a solid album from beginning to end. You can just listen to Metal Health and then listen to this one, and it just seems like a double album. Really good stuff. Okay, now the last one I don't have a physical copy of, but I love this album. I have a digital download of it. It's Stay Hungry by Twisted Sister. Just one of the best albums of all time. So to kind of represent Twisted Sister here, I have uh, greatest hits collection basically. Um, Actually, I think this Twisted Sister greatest hits album is one of the better selling albums. I think it's Twisted Sister's best selling. It's called um, Big Hits and Nasty Cuts, or the best of Twisted Sister Big Hits and Nasty Cuts. Um, Actually, the greatest hits compilation here outsold any of the individual albums, but I think that's kind of a shame because Stay Hungry is a great individual album uh, by Twisted Sister, but I couldn't get a physical copy, so I downloaded legally. I paid for a legal download of Stay Hungry. Fantastic album. It's going to be my top pick for the best album of 1984. So, drop in the comment sections what's your favorite album from 1984. Do you like the bands I mentioned? Spinal Tap, uh, Twisted Sister, Quiet Riot, Rat, Autograph, Metallica, Scorpions, and so on. Anyway, some great bands. If you don't know them, check them out. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Dragonfire out.